This week on Ad Library Teardown, where we rank brands from zero to ecom hero, is the farmer's dog. So let's take a look at how this nutritious dog food brand stacks up against the rest. As a reminder, we are analyzing 4 core variables while looking through these ad accounts. We're looking at asset types, frameworks, hooks, and iterations. Those 4 variables do a great job of summarizing the health of an ad account. So starting on asset type, as we scroll through here, you'll see a variety and a nice mix of videos and static assets. I personally think the Farmer's Dog is one of the best brands out there at utilizing statics and static frameworks to drive conversions. We'll touch on that more in a second. However, don't see a ton of motion graphics within this. And that's a little surprising to me because it's a very common strategy to take a high performing static framework, like they clearly have a lot of them here, and to add that motion element to activate that video placement. And this can really help extend the life of those assets because it allows the meta algorithm to use them in different ways and really expand the reach. So that would be one opportunity that I would see for the Farmer's Dog, be to further lean in on the asset type of motion graphics. But looping back to what I said earlier, an incredible use of frameworks within this account. So let's check a few of them out. First things first, I want to highlight the statistics framework, and this one's even coupled with the before and after framework. So a great coupling of 2 different frameworks here. But statistics is one that clearly works well throughout this account. You can see another asset here, and that's not surprising. The statistics framework is an incredibly high performer when speaking to anything related to health. And that's exactly what Farmer's Dog is talking about here. They're talking about extending the life and improving the health of your pets. I mean, how engaging is that? Like, it tugs at your heartstrings. It's no surprise that they're really trying to show the owners that they can get more time with their pets. And moving in through the account, you also see other frameworks. This is an example of like an us versus them. So we have kibble versus fresh. Why would you ever feed your dog that horrible ultra processed kibble when you could have this incredible, gently cooked, made to human food safety standards Farmer's Dog meal? So us versus them is a highly impactful framework for them as well. And then finally, obviously, again, tugging at those heartstrings, people love talking about their pets. So the reviews framework is one that they're also utilizing throughout the account, clearly a top performer. However, looping back to the point on activating motion graphics, imagine if this same asset just had scrolling reviews, one after the other, activating again that video placement that could help extend the performance of an asset like this. So again, opportunity, even with an asset as simple as this, to add in that motion element. Getting into hooks, there's obviously some videos within the account here that we could take a look at, but man, again, I think Farmer's Dog is doing such an incredible job at utilizing text and really making that connection as easy as possible with their customers. Look at this text hook. Imagine what 2.5 extra years would mean. You don't have to think too hard to imagine what 2.5 extra years with your pet would feel like. It's an incredible use of a hook, and that's also shown in all of the videos. But again, I think Farmer's Dog is absolutely crushing the static game. That's another great example of how to do that. And then iterations. Finally, we're all familiar with these sorts of assets, right? The dog with the box arriving, clearly happy to have their new food. I just want to say again, iterations are so key because Farmer's Dog has clearly evolved to use that same sort of framework or that asset and to activate these other static sorts of frameworks that we reviewed earlier. So a great use of iteration as well. So where do we stack up? Here's a quick summary of everything we just spoke about. Again, asset types, great use of video and static, but no motion graphics. Big opportunity there. Frameworks, again, I think one of the best in the game at activating those static frameworks, as well as some of the video frameworks that they have. The hooks, man, imagine what 2.5 extra years would be. I can't think of a better hook than that. Great use of hooks and iterations we just touched on. So great use of iterations as well. It's a good week, guys. We're back on track. We've got a good score. So, getting into our ad library grading scale, where does Farmer's Dog stack up from 0 to Ecom Hero? Farmer's Dog this week, we're back on track, 8.8. The only opportunity I see there is to repurpose some of those static frameworks into motion graphics to extend the shelf life and performance of those assets. So, great job to the Farmer's Dog team. To be expected. I love the performance. Nice job. We'll see you back next week for another episode of Ad Library Teardown.